Hey, good afternoon. Started this one a little bit later than my other ones. Got some of the windows open today. It's pretty hot. Anyways, today's random quote from a book, I think it was 0 to 1, is from Peter Thiel. And he was saying to say that there are no secrets left today would mean that we live in a society with no hidden injustices. So some people might say something like that, like, oh, there's no secrets left or whatever. It's not even close to being true. In fact, today there's more hidden injustices than there probably ever was, and there's going to be more as we move on throughout time. Um, some of them are newer too, and some of them have been around for a long time, but um, there's racial injustices. Now there's gender injustices. There's all kinds of societal injustices. There's political injustices. There's injustices going on in school systems. There's injustices going on in the food chain. There's injustices that are going on in your town. There's injustices that are going on probably at your workplace or a workplace that you worked at one time in your life. There's injustices happening in the auto industry. There's injustices happening in just about every sector and every company. It seems like these days. So um, there's definitely some secrets left, and I don't even know if there's a lot I can elaborate on with that one today without going into too many tangents. But um, there's all kinds of hidden secrets too to get successful um, in all different fields, right? And with the wealth of technology and information that we're able to access to nowadays, it might seem like there's no secrets left. I think that's where one of the misconceptions is that because we're so connected to the internet and what's out there at the palm of our hand, and with artificial intelligence and Google search engines and algorithms, there is like this sense that like everything has been exposed. There's no secrets left. There's nowhere to hide. Now, for some for some aspects, yeah, maybe there is. Like if you're a fugitive on the run, let's say, and like if you take the show Cops for instance, and you see like the bad guy or whatever is getting pulled over or in trouble, it's not it like they could just get away maybe like they did back in the 50s or 60s or 70s, like if they had a fast enough car and maybe they knew the road really well and they were just that crazy, maybe they could get away or something. um, but nowadays um, criminals have a lot harder chance of getting away of anything now because of like technology with GPS technology and radios and the communications and everything that that are involved in those type of situations, that there's no hiding. Once you're on their radar and you're wanted, it's only a matter of time. Um, so like where I'm going with that, like for instances like that, it might seem like there's no secrets. Like there's like we're all being watched and all that stuff, right? Which probably, but that's not the point. That there are still a lot of hidden injustices. There's a lot that's like hidden in plain sight, in other words. The hidden injustices that are in plain sight, where like maybe things are being covered up, or just having like almost like gaslighting people sometimes, or misinforming, or disinformation that spreads around, or maybe a credible source is getting their information from a unfiltered, less credible source, like a social media post. So yeah, as technology goes on, it's we'll be the illusion is that we'll be able to access all this information and knowledge, right? I guess you could say it's it was information, and now a lot of the intel and literature that we get from the internet now is becoming more knowledge based, not wisdom, because wisdom would take us having to use the applied knowledge and comprehend and do. And when you do and take action based on knowledge, that's where wisdom comes in play. And most, even for myself, might not know that. Some people might just see thinking as knowledge, but thinking is like someone who is strategically thinking and planning is actually a wise person, because you have to see that they're taking knowledge and using that knowledge as power as far as action. But if you go back 10, 20 years ago when the internet was fresher, when everybody was used to the internet a different way, I guess you can say. Lots of Google searching, lots of Wikipedia, and I don't know if that's a real word. But like after a while, you see that it becomes almost like a fraternity of information. Brief pause just to make sure that I have a live stream going here, too. I have to do that once in a while. I'm using old technology in a new technology world, so this is what happens. So, just to kind of wrap it up, there's a lot of hidden injustices happening all the time. Some of them aren't even social. So a lot of them are social too. If you follow the money and you follow the trail, and a lot of things that happen in current events, and things get misconstrued, and a lot of the attention is like being diverted to other things and distracted, so you can't really dig deep enough, I guess you can say, because like if you look at one of our recent political campaigns, or even when they were president, there was a fascinating thing that was happening in the news. If you noticed that it was just like every day for a period of time, it was like something crazier was happening than the day before. So you started becoming immune to like just like tabloid kind of news. But like before you could process what was going on, like you were like slammed with a whole nother thing not even 24 hours later. and then just like repeatedly. So like it was almost as if every event or every situation didn't even have its time to breathe or anyone to even kind of like digest it enough to like make a proper response or reaction to it or whatever. It was just like boom, boom, boom. And like and at the same time, it was like it was not only the amount of time between each thing that was going on in the media and the news, it was like each thing was progressively like crazier than the last thing. So you start off with like somebody just said something that was like off branded to like a couple weeks later like something brutal happening, something like really sickening or whatever it could be was happening. It was just like it was fascinating to see that. No, I'm not saying it was good. It was just like fascinating to see that because this kind of like segues from that too. It's like we get so like desensitized and immune to all these like secrets and this being exposed and that being exposed and like we're seeing a lot of like the mask being removed on a lot of things and like a lot of times and then we're being like desensitized by that after a while. And that's what's forming this kind of like collective opinion that there's like no secrets left, right? But in reality, like Peter Thiel was saying, is that just look at all the hidden injustices that have happened, that have happened a long time ago. We're talking about things that could be like religious things, it could be political things, it could be wars that were fought, you name it. Slavery, racial injustices, um, you know, women not being treated right, um, just all kinds of injustices, like the upper class and lower class um, having injustices done amongst each other and amongst themselves, and it's just happening more and more left and right. But again, it goes back to like we're being so exposed and we're so desensitized and we have access to so much. um, Now it's like like we're going back before 5, 10, 20 years ago. The internet was more information based, right? And now in the past 5 years, I guess you can say especially in the last like 2 or 3, the internet in general has become more of an knowledge based system, um, where it's not just information now. It's it's spawning a whole new generation of what the internet is going to be. And yeah, I mean, once you take the knowledge and applicate it and implement, you can achieve wisdom at some level, right? But yeah, just to wrap it up too, like there are a lot of injustices, and if you think you might have a truth or a secret that needs to be shared with the world, hey, don't hold back completely. Find a way to deliver that because there's tons of different ways where you can make it your own, and don't let that discourage you. Don't let that notion that all the secrets have been revealed drag you down and prevent you from um, reaching your destiny. And also realize too, like sometimes you have to look past surface level a lot of times you do, to realize that there's a lot of injustices that are happening, and sometimes just a lot of things look like it's too good to be true. So just pay attention to that as we move forward too. Um, and that like there's still lots of room and plenty of room and opportunity to be unique and share a new version, a new variety, a new flavor of what might already exist. And now you have access to so much that you could just take what you really believe in and share that message, or share the messages, I should say. And don't outright copy anybody, right? But the best. Study the best. Study the best in everything, and see how they got there. Um, and hey, some of it might be secret, some of it might be just right there. So don't ever feel like you learned it all and there's nothing left to explore or anything like that. There's still plenty of life. There's still plenty of things to explore. There's still plenty of secrets. There's plenty of things that are upsetting people. There's plenty of things to stand up for. There's plenty of things to like just keep going and be a powerful force and support the people that you love and do good things and for a good cause. So thank you very much for listening and or watching. I appreciate it, and have a lovely day.